हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita study group. Thank you all for joining. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Wonderful. Let's do a chota sa recap. Last week, Krishna has explained a wonderful concept, right? He's told us how to become detached. He says, कि you should know that we are not this body, right? We are spirit soul. We are the Atma inside. So we need to understand that this Atma, it does not do anything. Naiva kinchit karomiti. I, the soul, I am doing nothing at all. The eyes are seeing, the legs are walking, the ears are listening. Okay, the tongue is tasting. When we understand this, कि I am not doing anything, then we can very easily become detached. So he explained a very beautiful concept of while we are working in this world, we should be like the lotus flower. Don't get attached to anything. If you put water on a lotus leaf, a lotus petal, right? It doesn't stick. It rolls off. Similarly, if we want to be karma yogis, if we want to remain untouched by papa or punya, then when we are performing all kinds of work, it is very, very important that we perform it in God consciousness. Because when we do something in God consciousness, then we don't accrue any karma bandhan. There is no pap, no punya for something that is done as an offering to the Supreme. Anything which is done without a selfish motive cannot bind us. Okay? So, person in God consciousness will always act understanding that this body is the property of the Supreme Lord. And so, whatever I do with this body, I will engage it in that Lord's service. So, I offer all my actions to Krishna. Okay? Krishna went ahead and, called this body a city, a 9-gated city. In this Deha, in this 9-gated city, who is the king? The Dehi, the soul is the king. Please remember, body is Deha and soul is Dehi. Okay? The senses, the mind, the intellect, the false ego, right? All of these are inhabitants, are subjects in this city. Sorry, am I audible? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we have to constantly know that there is this city, this 9-gated city, in which the Atma is the Raja. And everything else, my man, my buddhi, my ahankar, my senses are all praja. Right? And so the praja has to always be under the control of the Raja. Okay? So the soul should be in charge. Everything else has to be under the control of the Atma. So how much ever Prakriti instigates me, it is my responsibility to act or to not act. Okay? I, the Atma, I am in control for whatever I do with my body, my mind, my senses, my intelligence. Okay? So please understand and always keep in mind that nobody else is responsible for what we do. not even God. God is not responsible for our paap and our punya. God does 3 things that we discussed last time. First, He gives us all our talents, all our intelligence, all the power that we need to perform an action comes to us from God. But once I perform this action, because God is not interfering, all that He does is He notes my actions. Okay? And after noting my actions, He gives me the result of my actions, which is my karma phal. So God notes my karma and He gives me karma phal. Simple? Sonal, you have a question, dear?
Yes. So I happened to listen to the last lecture yesterday.
Okay.
You spoke of 3 things, Ishwar, Jiva and Prakriti.
Correct.
Now, Prakriti happens to be the environment. Though I am responsible for my actions, but most of the times I cannot control the Prakriti around me. There are just circumstances that arise.
Correct.
I don't... So, who controls? What is the Prakriti determined by? Is it not determined by our karma? Like, where does this concept come in?
Yes, Prakriti is determined by your karma. The environment that you're put in is determined by your karma. Now it is up to you whether you will continue being in that reactive stage or will you finally take control and say how much ever instigating this Prakriti is. Now that I have intelligence, I'm not going to react. I'm going to think, I'm going to respond if necessary. I'm going to take charge of the situation. So if I'm put in an extremely distraught environment, right, where I would need to yell and scream, I would have done that if I did not have knowledge. Now that I have knowledge, now that I know that I have to tolerate, now that I know that I have to look at the higher principle, I have the understanding of where this karma is again going to take me, right? Therefore, I take charge and I become stronger and I say, no, I will not respond.
And, right? Is it a karma to change your Prakriti? Now, we can change our circumstances some of the times, but not always. But is changing circumstances always, is it running away from the karma that you are put in, or how should...
Every situation, now karma simply puts you in a situation. How you react to that situation decides your next karma phal. Okay? So don't think कि भगवान ने मुझे इस घर में डाला है मतलब है ना मुझे यही करना है. जो बोलते हैं ना कि डेस्टिनी लिखा हुआ है. Destiny is you designing your own destiny with your every single action. What you are put into, okay, is what ठीक है, ये already given है. लेकिन इस given situation में, right? See, it's very simple ना. You're given a car. ना वो कार लेके अगर तुम रैश चलाओगे तो तुम एक्सीडेंट करोगे और अगर तुम ध्यान पूर्वक चलाओगे तो तुम किसी का नुकसान नहीं करोगे. The car has been given to you, that is destiny से तुम्हारे पास आ गया. अब वो गाड़ी लेके तुमको चलाना कैसा है और आगे का रिएक्शन कैसे सेटअप करना है, this is entirely up to you. So now we will go to the concluding verse from the section that we did last time, verse 5.17. Please repeat after me. Tad buddhayas tadatmanas tannishthas tatparayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha.
When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation.
Okay, very nice verse. Tat buddhayas. So your buddhi should be offered to the Lord. Tat atmanas. Your atma, your man should be focused on God. Tan nishtha. Your nishtha, your faith, your firm faith should be in God. Tat parayanaha, your parayan, your final ashray, right? Your shelter should be God. Okay? If your buddhi, your man, your faith and your ashray is all God, then God is saying you will go to that place from where there is no coming back because your knowledge has wiped away all your sins. Please understand, God is not saying that we are coming into spirituality sinless. So many times He's saying, I'm wiping off your sins. I'm cleansing your misgivings. So don't be too hard on yourself about what you've done in the past. Okay? Why do we suffer Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi? Why are we in this cycle? Because of ignorance. Because we didn't know better. Right? We didn't know our sambandha with God. Right? Our relationship with Him. That is why we keep coming back in this crazy, miserable world. So, ignorance puts us in sansar. In this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi wala cycle. But ignorance ka opposite, knowledge. Knowledge has the power to free us from this sansar, from this whole material bondage that we are stuck in. And this knowledge will only come when we have proper devotion to God. And therefore this verse is so beautifully, emphatically telling us कि सब कुछ है ना, तुम भगवान के सेंटर कर लो. तुम्हारी बुद्धि, always use intelligence which comes from scriptures. Okay? Let your wisdom come from scriptures. Let your man be shant. And what is going to give us that shant man? When it is absorbed in a higher principle. Have faith. Your nishtha should come from that person who has the ability to give us complete faith, right? Complete shelter at all times. Somebody who never lets us down. And that is God. Please understand that the whole Bhagavad Gita revolves around declaring that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If your mind, if your intelligence, if your faith are dedicated to that Supreme Person, then you have nothing to fear at all. In fact, very honestly, it gets difficult to learn new prayers, right? So for me, it's very simple. When I have a bath, right, and I come out in the morning, I offer my first prayer to God, which is something that most of us have learned bachpan se. Kayena vacha manashendriyarva buddhyatmanava prakriti svabhava. Karomi yattat sakalam parasmay narayanayeti samarapayami. For those of you who know this, like normally after the Ganpati Aarti and all this prayer is said, right? Ki Bhagwan ji, whatever I do with my kaya, which is my body, with my vacha, my speech, with my man and my indriya, my buddhi, my atma, my prakriti, my svabhav, whatever I do, O God, I offer it all to you. Right? So we all must consciously, we have that beautiful prayer from school also, right? God, let your will be done. Hai na? So this is exactly what we should pray for. This is how knowledge helps us. The more knowledge I get as a human being, I need to become a better person. Correct? That knowledge has to lead to love for God. And once I have love for God, I should be able to see Him everywhere and in everybody. Correct? The next verse actually tells us exactly this. Once we are able to fall in love with God, then what happens is we start seeing Him in everybody. And the best part is, once I start getting knowledge, I become humble. Okay, my pride starts going down. So it's a beautiful verse quoted again very, very extensively. Please repeat after me. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Pandita Samadarshinaha.
Humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater.
So, this is a very, very beautiful verse because it talks about somebody who's now got knowledge, which means he understands that Bhagwan Ji, Krishna, is the Supreme Father. And he's not just my Supreme Father. He's the father of Rajashri, he's the father of Sonal, he's the father of Bhakti, he's the father of Reshma, yes. But he's the father of all living creatures, in all species of life, in all forms. Krishna is the Father. So, this verse is actually very beautiful because it talks of, if you look at it, Brahman is a human being, right? In the absolute mode of goodness. Then it talks about Gavi. Gavi kaun hai? Guy. Right? Then it says Hasti, means an elephant. Then Shuni, a dog. And Shvapake, a dog eater. Okay, a Chandal, ekdam low caste person. Brahman is a high caste person. Cow is very reverential, right? We worship the cow. Elephant to aise ek passionate animal. Dog, like a lowly creature. And then a dog eater, the worst that exists. But once you're in knowledge, you don't see the difference between any of them. You see, oh my God, all of them are Jivatmas and they're all children of God. They're all my Swajan, because Krishna is the original father. This is Krishna consciousness. Becoming conscious that every living being is a soul and every soul originates from God. Right? And when does this happen? Look at the first line. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Truly, when a person has Vidya means knowledge. When a person is knowledge, his first sign is that he is Vinay. He is very, very humble. The first sign of a truly knowledgeable person is that he is very, very humble. The very beautiful line that Gaurang Darshan Das Prabhuji uses. He says, people of small knowledge, they think that they are great. But people of great knowledge, they accept that they are small. Right? So people of small knowledge, they think that they are very great. But people of great knowledge, they accept that they are very small. So Krishna says, a person who has knowledge, वो पंडित हो गया. This pandit, he sees everybody as tiny parts of that same Supreme Lord. Right? So he sees ekdam Santa, Brahman, the outcast dog eater as the same. Okay? All of us have different external bodies because of our past karmas. Right? All of us externally, one could be a dog, one could be an elephant, one could be a cow, one could be a human being. Right? Even in human beings, one could be a Chandal, one could be a Brahman. Okay. We're all externally different. But internally, we are the same. We are the same Jivatmas. It's like seeing kids of different schools in different uniforms. है ना, कोई बिशप्स का यूनिफॉर्म पहन रहा है, कोई मैरीज का यूनिफॉर्म पहन रहा है, somebody is wearing a DPS uniform and somebody is just wearing a corporation school का uniform. Right? The uniforms, please remember, are based on where their parents could afford to get them enrolled, which is karma. Right? Based on our karma, we have these uniforms, these external bodies. But inside, under that uniform, they're all the same. They're all just beautiful little bachas. Right? Under all school uniforms, whether it's a corporation school ka uniform or it is a fancy Mary school ka uniform, underneath is a beautiful child. Right? Who is a tiny part of God. So this verse is actually very important. If somebody asks you, does studying Bhagavad Gita add any practical value to society? Well, yes. Look at this unifying verse, right? Currently, the world that we are living in is torn apart with racial differences, right? Religious differences, ideological differences. That is why we have wars, right? We have wars in families, we have wars in communities, we have wars in nations. Right? Our generation has lived through so many of these wars. Why are there wars? Because of divided visions. Remember we did that? What is that? Ayam nija paro vyakti ganana laghu chetasam. People who have laghu chetasa, who are narrow-minded, they think this is mine and that is his. Right? This separatist vision comes because of narrow minds. This verse is a unifying verse. It is talking about Udara Charita Namatu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. A large-hearted person thinks the entire world is my family. The universe is one big family and everybody who belongs in that universe is my family. Okay, so this is an amazingly beautiful unifying verse. So please remember, the first thing that knowledge should do to you is make you very humble. The more you know the extent of your ignorance. Right? The more you should become aware of how little you know. How much more there is to know. Right? And when we get better and better qualities, then we should be like trees. है ना, जैसे fruit उसमें ज़्यादा होता है, that tree starts bowing down. Right? So we need to become humble. A tree laden with many fruits bows down. So if the more good qualities you see developing in yourself, the more humble one should become. And when we become humble, we are able to get this vision of equanimity. Right? So this verse tells us that what we should start doing if we want to be perfect karma yogis is start seeing all types of people with a equal vision. Sama darshanaha. Right? Spiritually, we are all the same. As spirit souls, we are all the same. Right? Just think of how impartial Krishna is. Right? And based on understanding how impartial he is, we should also work towards becoming little less partial. Okay? So we'll move ahead and look at the qualities of this Brahmani Sthitaha, right? Of this person who is self-realized. Verse 5.19, please. Ihaivatarjitah sargo yesham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. Thank you. Please mute, and then Reshma, please read.
Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like the Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman.
Very nice. Thank you. What this verse is telling us is, don't wait for, next life I will be a better person. When I get another opportunity to come into this world, then बचपन से है ना मैं सीख के आऊँगी. मैं बचपन में इधर उधर कहीं कॉलेज में नहीं जाऊंगी, मैं ऐसा वैसा कुछ नहीं पढ़ूंगी, मैं सीधा बचपन से स्क्रिप्चर्स की पढ़ाई करूंगी. गॉड इज सेइंग नो, डोंट वेट फॉर अनदर टाइम. इहैवतः जितः सर्गो, इधर ही, in whatever situation you are in currently, in that life itself, you will be able to come out of this cycle of birth and death. Right? You will jita sarga. Sarga means creation. Okay, so you will be able to conquer creation in this lifetime itself. In this, when you reach death in this life, you will be elevated. Right? We all know, okay, ठीक है, अब जन्म तो अपना हो गया, इतने साल जैसे गुजर गए. But from now to death, the interim period that I have, I will do whatever is required so that I will elevate myself. Right? And for that, what do I have to do? Yesham samye sthitam manaha. First thing, everywhere you will see, time and again Krishna is telling us, भाई तू अपने मन को है ना समर रख. Keep your mind very calm, not bewildered. सुख आया बहुत ज़्यादा खुशी, दुख आया बहुत सारा रोना धोना. No, don't do that. Have the understanding of this too shall pass. No situation is permanent. Right? आज खुशी आई है, it will pass. दुख आया है, automatically it will pass. Remember that राजा का रिंग का story? Right? So this too shall pass. Write that big and bold all around you. So then, like, dislike, misery, happiness, pleasure, pain, don't allow it disturb you too much. Good person comes in your life, be happy. Learn from him. Bad person comes in your life, try and influence him positively, or be smart enough to not get influenced. It is all in your control. Correct? Nirdosham hi samam brahma. If you control your mind, you will become nirdosham. तुम्हारे सारे दोष जो हैं वो निकल जाएंगे. You will become free from faults like Brahma, like God. Means you will stop creating trouble in your own life and you will not create trouble for anybody else. Right? You will become flawless. You will become impartial. You will start treating everybody nicely, kindly. Okay, there's a very interesting story. I don't even know if it connects here, but this is something that Satyati Mataji had told us. She said, very nice, a saint with his disciple is passing by. When he meets a prince, right? This prince is obviously, right, the son of a king. And so he's completely, enjoying himself. Life is super opulent. Sense gratification of the highest order. So this prince is having a fantastic life. Lots of, drinking and womanizing and, enjoying all kinds of pleasure in life. So when he sees the sadhu, he bows down and touches his feet. Sadhu blesses him, saying, my dear prince, may you live forever. Please understand, my dear prince, may you live forever. मीनिंग भाई तू अब भी जिधर है तू इतना मजा कर रहा है ना, लेकिन ऑल ऑफ दिस इज गोइंग टू हैव कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. सो आफ्टर दिस लाइफ आगे का तुम्हारा कुछ अच्छा नहीं दिख रहा है, तो आई प्रे दैट यू लिव फॉर एवर, है ना, तो इसी लाइफ में बस अपने मजे करते रहे. देन द सेज गोज अहेड एंड ही मीट्स अ हंटर, है ना, हंटर पाँव छूता है. So the sage says, dear God, neither live nor die. Hunter, because वो जब रह रहा है, while he is living a horrible life, right? He's engaged in killing animals, and because he's killing animals, after death he's going to go to hell, right? So imagine, sage says, यार इसका तो क्या करे? Neither live nor die. तुम्हारा तो अभी भी भयंकर है, बाद में भी भयंकर है. Then the sage continues on the journey and he meets an austere yogi. बहुत सारी तपस्या में बैठा हुआ है, घोर तपस्या कर रहा है ये अष्टांग योगी, राइट? साधु को देखता है, पाँव छूता है. साधु says, oh my dear yogi, may you die immediately, because इस life में you're doing so many austerities, right? It's a very hard life. But if you die now, you will just go back to Godhead. तुमने कमा लिया जो भी कमाना था, and you will go back to Godhead, right? And then as he's going along, he meets a bhakta, right? Somebody like you and me, happily engaged in their life, doing everything that they have to do, but keeping their focus on God. Chanting कर लिया, regulative principles follow कर लिया, थोड़ा बहुत scripture study कर लिया, भगवान को जो भी किया सेंटर में रखा, घर चलाया, काम किया, सब किया, लेकिन kept God at the center. And to this bhakta the sadhu says, you may either live or die. तुम अभी जो जी रहे हो, you're engaged in serving the Lord. तो मौत के बाद तुम क्या करने वाले हो? तुम उधर जाके भी भगवान की सेवा ही करने वाले हो. So you're going to enjoy bliss now and you're going to enjoy bliss later. Nice, no? So this is where we need to be. Enjoy that ananda while you're still here. Okay? All right. We'll go to the next verse. Verse 5.20, please. We're continuing with the description of a karma yogi. Okay? This is how all of us should want to become. Nah prahyushet priyam prapya नोद्विजेत प्राप्य चा प्रियम स्थिर बुद्धिर असम्मूढ़ो ब्रह्मविद ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. Thank you. Please mute yourselves. Reshma.
A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who's unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendency.
Thank you. So this verse clearly tells us that person, right, who's not very excited when he gets something good, who's not very sad when he doesn't get what he wants, right, who's not agitated, angry, happy at different times, who is sthira buddhir, whose intelligence is ekdam steady, whose mind is very steady, who's asammudho, who does not get confused by the thing of I am the doer, and I am going to live forever. ऐसा जिसके पास कुछ नहीं है, that person is already situated in Brahman. Brahmani stitah. This person whose will is already in line with the will of God, right? This person is already in such a great situation, right? Remember, we had learned a person who understands that when God gives me something, it is His mercy. When He doesn't give me something, it is His protection, right? When we understand that, then Brahmani Sthitaha, we're already very well situated on our spiritual journey. There's a very common story जो बच्चों को सुनाते हैं ना, कि once a wild horse ran into a farm. So neighbors came and told the farmer, bhai, you are so lucky, you got a horse ऐसे ही फुकट में. So that farmer says, well, good luck, bad luck, who knows? It's all the will of God. And a few days later, that horse runs away back into the forest. Neighbors come and say, यार बेचारा तेरा तो है ना नुकसान हो गया. बोलता है यार, good luck, bad luck, God's will. है ना? Few days later, that horse comes back and अकेले नहीं आता. He brings 10-15 horses with him. Again, people come and say, यार तेरी तो चांदी हो गई. है ना? You are such a lucky bugger, man. Look at you, so lucky. Again, the farmer says, what? Good luck, bad luck, all of this is God's will. और थोड़े दिन जाते हैं, and the farmer's son is sitting on the horse, riding the horse, and he falls down, breaks his leg. Neighbor आता है, यार बेचारा तेरा बच्चा, what bad luck. Farmer again says, good luck, bad luck, who knows, it's all God's will. थोड़े दिनों बाद, the king's messengers, they come and they're recruiting all the young men to go for war, right, into the army, to go join the war. But this kid's leg is broken, so he doesn't get taken into the army. Ab good luck, bad luck, it's all God's will, right? So every situation in our life, at that particular moment, it may look like bad luck, but who knows what God's plan is. So surrender to the will of God. So what knowledge should do to us is this. Knowledge should help us surrender to the will of God. Our prayer should be कि हे भगवान जी, let your will be done. When God's will becomes our will, then सारा problem ही खत्म. When our will merges with God's will, then we will be able to understand कि ठीक है, pain आया तो that's His will, pleasure आया, that is His will. And that is the symptom of a Brahmani Sthitaha, a person who is situated in perfection, a proper karma yogi. Okay, it continues. Verse 5.21, please. Bahya sparsheshva sattatma vindatyatmani yat sukham sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukham akshayam ashnute. Thank you. Please mute. Reshma.
Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness for he concentrates on the Supreme.
Thank you. What a nice verse. It simply says that this person is now not interested in anything that is external. Why? Because he enjoys happiness within himself. In his Atma, he is enjoying Sukh. Because he is always connected with God, right? He is always connected with the Supreme Brahman. He enjoys Sukh, which is Akshay, which जो कभी खत्म ही नहीं हुआ, right? That Sukh which is everlasting. A person in God consciousness is so absorbed in the understanding कि no, this is God's will, that his taste for material sense pleasure goes away. He is not attracted to any kind of external sense pleasure. In our ordinary life, what is happening? Our senses are always running helter-skelter to enjoy different kinds of external pleasures, right? But instead, what should we do? Look inwards. Seek pleasure inwards. When we get connected to that Brahman inside, to that Paramatma inside us, then we experience unending happiness. Sukham akshayam ashnute. That sukh is akshay. Nobody can take away that sukh from you, right? So what we need to do is try and understand that we need to move from sense gratification to sense purification. Right? Our journey, our inward journey means externally we are always looking at sense gratification. When we move that to an inward journey, what we are doing is trying to work on our senses, trying to purify our senses. Always keep in mind, ahar, nidra, bhay, maithunya. Right? These four are common between us and animals. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Right? Animals are always thinking of that. Humans are always thinking of that. But there is one thing that is greater in us. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. We as human beings have the ability to understand dharma. We have a faculty that helps us to contemplate. We can make a conscious decision. So should we give in to the urges of the body or not? This is a conscious decision that we can make. Ask questions. Every time a desire attacks you, ask questions. Is this the right time? Is this the right place? Is this the right circumstance? TPC, time, place, circumstance. Is this my dharma? Is this going to help my spiritual growth? If we don't ask these questions, then we are not different from animals. Right? Animal क्या करता है? भूख लगता है, खाना खाता है, नींद आता है, सो जाता है. Right? So running after sense pleasures as and when you get an urge, that is like being an animal. अभी के अभी पानी पूरी खाना है, Netflix का सीरीज है ना, I have to finish it. Doesn't matter how many hours I have to stay awake. Or I need new clothes and I need them now. है ना, or my greatest weakness, oh my God, I need that beautiful ring at Carrot Lane. We all go through this. But God is repeatedly telling us material world is a failed sense enjoyment program. Every single time when a desire attacks me, I go through heaven and hell to satisfy my desires. Right? इतना झंझट करके I went all the way to eat पानी पूरी. 5 मिनट में खत्म. है ना? इतना मतलब खुद को टॉर्चर करके रात के 3 बजे तक I stayed up and I watched Netflix. Today I'm tired, I'm irritated, I'm behind on my work. है ना? इतना टाइम डाल के I went shopping. I bought all those clothes. And then I saw, oh my God, Reshma has better ones. Right? Or, you know, I went to Carrot Lane, I bought the ring. And now I'm thinking, yaar, ab ring ke saath bracelet bhi chahiye. Right? So time and again we go through this and we realize कि कितना passing है ये सब. Nothing gives me everlasting happiness. Right? We miserably fail in being permanently happy. So now, धीरे धीरे with knowledge we need to realize sense gratification is not my aim. Sense purification is my aim. And only when I understand that will I survive and flourish right here in this world. Right? I don't think I have time to do more. So, okay, with this thought, this week, all urges that attack us, let's stop and think. Is this the right time? Is this the right place? Is this the right circumstance? Is this my dharma? Is this going to help me in my longer journey going back home? Okay, so for this week, I leave you with these questions. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Thank you all for joining.